Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Market Wrap. So we are back in Philly, and believe it or not, Brady is back in the Super Bowl for the 10th time. Now Kansas City should kill him, but he is the GOAT. All the guy does is win, hard to bet against him. Can't wait for the game in a couple weeks. So this week, we had three really great pieces come across my desk. The first one is a MIL-SPEC, and this is the special Hodinkee edition. I gotta give them a little props for this one. They did a nice job. I'm not a huge Blancpain guy, by the way, but the MIL-SPEC's a really special watch, kind of cool vintage look. It's a smaller size. I really like it. It's a great addition. I'm sure it won't last long. The second piece is a Rolex Daytona, and this one is an ivory Arabic gold piece on the strap. So it's the 116518. The thing I love about it is this ivory dial with the black subs. You don't see it very often. It's kind of a funky dial. This particular version has papers, which for whatever reason, a lot of the early Daytona straps, the guys just didn't keep papers. It was thought of, I think, more of a dress watch than a collectible. So to have this combination with the papers, awesome piece. And the last piece is an Omega Speedmaster. Love the Speedies. This is the CK2998, but blue bezel, white dial, blue subs. You know I love everything blue. It's just drop dead gorgeous. So it was another super busy week. Yesterday was one of the most active trading days I can remember in quite some time. Everybody just seems very engaged. We've spoken a little bit about our 2021 projections, and I thought this year could be the year of Patek. Well, last week we had our first taste of the year of Patek with big news. Now, not news of introductions, but rather what's being discontinued. So last week the internet completely blew up as the leak came out that Patek was closing out the 5711 1A. Now this is the most popular Nautilus, probably the most iconic Patek in the current collection. It was just big news. All the 5146s are gonna go away. The 5131 1P, the beautiful world timer on a bracelet, gone. As well as some Grand Comps, some ladies, some pocket watches. Nobody really paid that much attention to. So obviously, almost all the attention went to the 5711. So a confirmation from Patek 2 days later, they sent it out, yes, it's gonna go away. So what happens? Prices go through the roof. Immediately online, prices go from 65 to 75 to 100. I saw a couple at 120 overnight. Now, we saw this last year when they got rid of the white dial. This is certainly even bigger news because the blue is so much more popular. Just an amazing week, lots of buzz about it. So now, obviously, I don't see this watch being a north of $100,000 watch. It's a three-hand Nautilus, fairly common. I think prices will probably hold at this level for a few weeks, maybe a month or two, and then I think we'll come back down into the 80s and 90s, should settle around there, I would think. There's still a lot on the market. Guys want to still have them, but it's just a piece that I don't value over 100,000. So now our attention turns to what comes next. So obviously the Nautilus is a collection that's been around a long time. It's not going to go away. They are going to come out with a new Nautilus. So we're waiting for the 6711. Now, everybody assumes what will the size be. I'm betting it's going to be bigger for sure. I think everybody feels that. I'm betting it might go to a 42 millimeter. Brian, who's our Patek guy, is betting a 41 millimeter. We're hoping for an improved bracelet. Now, anybody who's worn a Nautilus, we'd love to have a micro adjustment, maybe a little stronger clasp, a beefier bracelet. They could even use the new clasp that's on the 5740. So there's lots of options coming forward. There's also a big discussion about metals. So stainless steel, there's a lot of talk about stainless steel and rose gold. They used to do those in Nautiluses. I'd love to see a bicolored Nautilus. Also, a lot of people on the internet are speculating about titanium or maybe titanium and platinum a la Audemars. The possibilities are endless. All I can tell you is we're going to be anxiously awaiting probably March or April by the time we see them. A lot of talk to be going on until then. Now, they also lost the 5131 1P. Beautiful piece, great platinum bracelet watch. Do we get a 5231 1P? I don't think that'll happen this year. I think we might have to wait a few years for that. They still have to roll out the other colors for the 5231, so I think that one we might be out of for a couple of years. And then the last big discussion is the 5146. Now this is the most classic, kind of entry-level annual calendar. It is now gone. We're really hoping we can get a new annual this year. We've also talked over the last few weeks about Calatravas. Very few Calatravas in the collection. Maybe we see a new Calatrava introduction, maybe a colored dial, maybe a hobnail bezel. Again, lots of options. So just imagine if Patek introduces a new Nautilus, a new annual calendar, a new core Calatrava, all in 1 year, it will definitely put Patek back at the top of the heap. So now 3 things we are looking to buy. Now, Journe Chronometro Blues, we talked about them a lot last year. We haven't talked about them for a while. The market is staying super strong, and we are really having trouble sourcing. So that's something we're certainly looking for. The new Omega Snoopies have hit. We actually bought our first one last week. Certainly actively going after those. I love the new Snoopy. I love what they did with the back of the case. So those we're certainly actively chasing. And the last one's our classic Patek 3940. Just brought one in this week. It's going to be a beautiful piece. I love the classic perpetuals. Always love those Pateks. So that was this week's market wrap. Next week we have a special treat. It's our 50th episode. Something very special coming up.